Hey, so you wouldn't know it, but Capcom is a video game company, and they still
Oh,
exist.
oh,
What?
oh, really now? Oh, pray
Shocker?
tell.
What is this? This is still a thing that's happening, and actually, they've been kind of active here in the last in the last little bit. I'm kind of surprised because in the last couple of years, Capcom has not only been a little shy on the output, they've also faced a little controversy with things like Street Fighter V, and even Street Fighter 4 had a little bit of that beforehand. But before we talk about Capcom, obviously, look what you got down here. This is Crystal Rat Punks actually on the show now, instead of just hearing him. Isn't that incredible? And then, of course, RumAndApples is on the show, as always. We love RumAndApples around
captivated.
he likes
I'm
to hang around
captivated right now.
the landing zone parts, talking about other parts of things. But Capcom is, I think Capcom's had an interesting year so far. And not that they just had the Capcom Cup a couple days ago, right? Street Fighter V is coming to terms with not being as terrible a game as it launched as. It's even actually throwing some shade at Mighty Number 9 now, which I think is kind of funny with the announcement of Mega Man 11, which kind of looks a little interesting, I have to say. We had a discussion a few shows back, actually, about Resident Evil 7 and how that could potentially be Game of the Year material, but now that we have Game of the Year awards rolling out, there's not so much of a nomination other than what Keely's show. It got, Best VR Experience, I think it did.
And that's the one Crystal Red Punks played, right?
You played that on PSVR, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Crystal?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently it was the bee's knees.
It was
Okay.
great.
It was great. That's good stuff. And also, they announced something a couple of days ago. The Devil May Cry collection. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of pumped for that. I kind of want that in my veins.
How many Devil May Cries do you own already?
How many of them do I own?
Yeah.
Actually, I own a couple on Steam. That's really it. I don't know
So why are you buying a collection?
Because I don't own them.
That's
because I actually love the Devil May Cry games. I own 4 and Devil May Cry 3
That's
on
fair.
Steam,
I mean,
I believe.
if you're getting them and you just want to acquire them for your personal whatever, that's I can't blame
because
a
I
guy
love
for
them.
doing that.
Yeah, I love the
No,
Devil
that's
May
what I'm
Cry
saying.
games.
I mean, if it's your shit, it's your shit. You can't help a guy. I mean, there's only so much I can do with pizza eating Dante.
Now, speaking of pizza eating Dante, there's actually a heavy rumor about Devil May Cry 5 is in the works and probably will be revealed probably this year, probably at E3. And even though it's a heavy rumor,
Is he going to be emo again?
I don't know. I don't think he's going by the rumors. It's apparently he's back to Uncle Dante.
Oh,
I didn't mind.
Christ.
I really didn't mind the emo Dante once you actually got into the game and the story. It actually was really good.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that. And actually, Ninja Theory did a lot of good justice. Not everybody's going to agree with that, especially if you're a DMC purist.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of looking at both of you with a little bit of vengeful hatred in my eyes, going, "What the fuck is wrong with both of you? How dare you?"
I thought
How
it
dare
had
you?
I really like
But that
the
is
indie
true.
style.
It comes from a purist attitude, and I can admit that. But
It's
if I
kinda
look at it functionally, it's all right. It's fine.
It's a prequel,
sort
and by
of.
the end of the game, spoiler alert, it kind of comes full circle, especially when Dante starts embracing the devil trigger more, and he actually starts getting white hair. Hair starts turning white at the end, and it actually goes into the lore. Well, the lore they have from the games with his relationship with Virgil. Even though Devil May Cry 3 explored it very well.
Devil May Cry was
I
hard.
enjoyed
Devil May
it.
Cry 3, man, that game beat the shit out of me.
That game was so much fucking fun.
I
It
should
gave
go
you so
back and
many
try it
options.
again just to see if I've gotten better as a player, because now I haven't been playing I didn't play the Souls games until after Devil May Cry 3, so I think I have a little more patience, but now
It's a different game altogether, Jerry.
yeah. It is. And no, but
I started playing Miss Pac-Man yesterday. I think I'm ready to play some Dark Souls. Like what?
I think I think the emo it's true though. It was I don't know. I'm gonna try. Because you know me, the old ragey gamer of
Oh, yeah.
impatience. It was not something that I generally proud of. But I think it took playing games like the Souls games to get there. But I think, and to your point, the emo Dante thing with Devil May Cry, I think I liked that game because it had a weird style about it. It had like a weird Fight Club type of.
The artistic style is really cool.
It had an attitude about it that I think it kind of resonated with me a little bit. It's not the best playing one, that's for damn sure, because I lean more on the Devil May Cry 1 or Devil May Cry 4 for gameplay. Yeah, I thought that was, especially as much as I can't even remember his name. The other character in Devil May Cry 4, it was
Nero.
Nero, that's the one. And he had that claw, and you could just grab dudes out of thin air and just start slashing the shit out of them.
I enjoy playing with Nero more in that game than Dante.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah. I definitely agree.
Well, Nero was more handholdy. I think that's why it was.
He was a bit crutchy, with his arm, but I think that was the point, and it made it more fun, if anything. But I have to say though, as far as Capcom goes, I was really, really, really happy with Resident Evil 7. I can't say that enough. It's still my favorite game this year.
Why is everybody applauding fucking Outlast 2 with a gun?
I loved Outlast 2, but
okay.
not Outlast 2. I'm not done playing Outlast 2 yet, but the first Outlast, I loved it. But I only loved it because it had some Condemned Criminal Origins vibes to it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
And Outlast
that's a fair statement.
Outlast 1 was more about like a running away from everything thing. And Resident Evil, you're not really running away very often.
That's because you have a weapon. That's
you're in
the
a lot
only
more
difference.
combat scenarios. You had to actually fucking strategize how you're fighting fuckers. Especially when you're fighting a room full of different kinds of monsters. Even though one of the big gripes I did have with Resident Evil 7 was that it reminded me a lot of those what were those Resident Evil games that came out for like the DS and such that they re-released on consoles?
Was it Survivors and Raccoon City?
No,
talking about different ones.
Fuck. They're out on the PS4 right now, both of them.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. The Revelations one.
Revelations, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Like all the enemies in those games looked exactly the same, except one may have a different kind of arm or something. And in Resident Evil 7, it used the same exact mechanic. And nobody thought anything about it because the game looks amazing, was super fucking tense, especially playing in VR. But
maybe that's the clincher. Because I didn't play it in VR, and I got bored pretty fucking quick. I wasn't in it. I'll just be flat out. I wasn't into it.
It did I think it did what Resident Evil 6 failed to do, which was create a singular atmosphere again, and an atmosphere of tension, and just sort of not even just like a jump scare feel or a tension scare, but like a sort of a perpetual feeling of fear. Like, and I thought that was good, and it sold the environment really well. And it took this batshit crazy Resident Evil 6 mentality and brought it right back down to just a solitary, this is a singular experience with one person. There's not a whole bunch of random shit involved. It's just simple concept, right? And it took it down to square one, which I thought was really cool. But then again, I really resonate with like this sort of backwoods. I was born and raised in the rural South. And so that kind of imagery with broken down, dilapidated, and of course people who don't care for these types of institutions, they're not very good on the upkeep, right? That's a thing that I've seen quite a bit of. And so
there's a couple groundskeeper willies running around.
Yeah, and when you start throwing in the Hills Have Eyes aspect of it, and I thought that was pretty clever, and it took the batshit craziness out of it, which I really respected, and it brought it more down to earth, while keeping maintaining a good Resident Evil feel about it. And now that we've got new DLC coming for it, a good deal of that, which is free, by the way,
positive.
I think is really cool, and I think I see a lot of positives for Capcom in that. So now we have some other questions, like because Capcom was in a little bit of money trouble in the last couple of years, right? They spent a lot of time developing an engine that I would say is probably never going to come to fruition. with and of course, remember Deep Down that they revealed like at the PlayStation 4 reveal, which was like 4 years ago. Probably not going to happen there either, or I'd be surprised to see that resurface as something else. I think they're doing good, but what else do they have? They have their cash cows. They've got your Devil May Cries, your Resident Evils, your Street Fighters.
They're doing good, but they still can't let go of those old nickel and dime tactics. Like when Street Fighter V came out, a lot of people got excited for it because they said, you know what? There's not going to be any more super hyper editions, no more arcade editions. This is the game. We'll just add on new characters and such over time. All right, awesome. What they announced at the Video Game Awards for PSX Arcade Edition coming out.
Well, Capcom had a party with Konami. You know, they were checking out the pachinko machines in the industry. And then they did this drug. It's called DMT. And what happened was Capcom saw Buddha made out of energy. And it terrified Capcom. And they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. I got an idea. We're going to fuck all these gamers with Street Fighter. We're going to completely not finish this game, release it, make everybody mad, pretty much create Coke 2, and then bring back Coke 1, and make everybody happy and subservient again. Back to Battered Gamer Syndrome. Aha, and the whipping boy returned. And then you have this situation of, do you remember the time when Capcom was really in their money troubles, and they invested a lot of their fucking money into reboots and remakes? And they got a lot of generated income from that.
I can't tell you how many times I've bought Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, so you're one of the people who clearly pushed the wheel of income into making Resident Evil 7 possible. Because that's pretty much what they did. They did a lot of reboots and remakes and took the money from those sales. In my own dumb brain, I'm thinking this, but it makes sense.
I was pretty convinced I was never going to buy another Resident Evil if it was going to be the same shit that 6 was.
mean, look what they did. Resident Evil 6 suffered from identity crisis. It didn't know what it wanted.
They said going to that game, they wanted to make a game that can compete with Call of Duty. I'm like,
identity crisis. it was the Bruce Jenner of video games.
Who the fuck okayed that?
I want to know that. Right? Here's a blank check. Like what? No.
And there are literally people that defend that idea of a game. It's like that Resident Evil 6 was the best, and I'm like, you're on some shit that is not only legal, but you shouldn't.
No, they're on Flocka. They're probably eating someone's face in Miami. Okay, it's not a good look when you're a gamer and you say Resident Evil 6 is your favorite Resident Evil. I'm just suggesting.
That's almost as bad as saying you liked Final Fantasy 13. Pretty bad.
Okay, now you're just being rude.
It's pretty bad.
Why would you just why are you trying to paint target on people? But don't put that in people's mouths, man.
Ooh.
That'll get you made fun of on some circles. Jesus Christ! Imagine you in a fucking forum. Rip you apart.
I do it all the time. Reset Era and NeoGaf, rest in peace. Definitely.
Oh Jesus! Oh no, Legacy. Look, Capcom is doing okay. They were successful in Resident Evil 7. People did attach to it, even though I don't like it. Maybe it's because I didn't try it in VR and got Oculus herpes. Who knows? Who fucking knows? Okay, I play Street Fighter occasionally. Mega Man looks all right. Mega Man 11. You know what Mega Man is? Mega Man, in my brain, is a giant middle finger to Mighty Number 9. That's exactly what it is, because it looks like a middle finger to Mighty Number 9.
I definitely agree with that.
It does,
because,
yeah.
Well, people want another Mega Man game, but they wanted another Mega Man Legends game, because those first two games were amazing. But they instead of giving another Legends game, they basically churned out what people wanted Mighty Number 9 to be in the first place. Because this fucking game looks really, really good. Mega Man
I remember a lot of people bought into Mighty Number 9, and the original concepts that they showed was actually pretty impressive. And then what we got was, I don't know what we got. It was bad. It was very bad. Holy shit.
It was a rough draft. It was like an author pressing a rough draft as a final copy.
Oh, and they showed the final copy to everyone before they bought it, which was weird. I don't. Oh,
then
my
the Kickstarter. God. Then their funding had a lot of problems, and you saw the creator go on there and say, "I'm sorry" a lot. And look, from their cultural perspective, you're supposed to do that. But in America and other places, we look at that as you're being cunty. and that's unfortunate. But that's just what it is. Japan go, oh, we sorry. Oh, I sorry. Oh,
He's
I
back.
Sorry. I sorry. I'm so sorry. I have sex with wife. I do. I so sorry. I so sorry. I draw to do Chris Redfield to do with no ginge and tentacle. No, but like, look,
He's
I can make
sorry.
other dumb jokes. No, yes, that's Capcom. That's Capcom. Just imagine a Japanese man in a suit with Capcom's head logo. And he just comes out, I sorry, but I know sorry for Street Fighter.
I wonder. I wonder. Like, okay, with Capcom having I would say a decent year. I mean, you don't really hear Capcom in the news as much.
Capcom good year to do. We
Certainly not like Nintendo. Nintendo has had a great year so far. As a matter of fact, I mean, the Game Awards was pretty much an homage to Nintendo, like almost entirely.
And like when you look at like the Game Awards, the game was against like Zelda, which was a good game. I like Zelda a lot, but it's the same story basically over and over.
I need to get a Switch.
Well, how many times can a man rescue a princess?
Yeah, and the other game that also was nominated was another game about rescuing a princess. An Italian plumber named Mario trying to do it yet again.
The ultimate hero story, gentlemen, returns.
It's just like it was all about Nintendo. And Nintendo did have a great year, don't get me wrong, but they didn't break any boundaries.
I feel this is the era of okay, let's bring Grandpa. Let's bring him out. Where's Grandpa? Grandpa's tired. It's the George Carlin bit. Grandpa's tired. Let's get him out there. Hurry it up. Let's go. Get him to bed. He's pissed. He wants his tea. He's possibly urinating.
Definitely urinating.
Definitely urinating. Oh God. Oh God. Oh shit. Oh God. Pac-Man was in a Pixels movie. Oh no. Okay. Definitely urinating. Bad things are happening. No, seriously, I get it. And realistically, I look at Capcom and I go, okay, Capcom is under the radar right now. And in a way, that's good. Because that means that they're, at the very least, they're doing black, which means they're making money and they're profitable to where they can continue to make games. And the core fan base is still sustaining them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So good for them in that case. However, I'm with Crystal Red Punks and stop fucking pigeonholing your fans with this bullshit Street Fighter stuff, enhanced editions, arcade editions. That's ridiculous.
They did the same exact thing with Marvel vs. Capcom. I think people don't realize that you play through the horrific story mode in that game.
I'm not a Marvel vs. Capcom guy. I haven't touched one of those in a long time.
Are you familiar with Marvel in general, like Venom and the symbiote and all that stuff, or no?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so the symbiotes in Marvel only deal with Venom or like Carnage and shit like that. So in the main story, you had to fucking fight a fucking gigantic monstrous symbiote that's destroying the city. Yet Venom's not in the story mode at all, but Venom's a DLC character. Clearly Venom was in the game at some point if his fucking symbiote's in the game, but you clearly cut him out and put his character in there anywhere and expect the players to pay for him later on.
Yeah, that's fishy. That's fish. That smells like a fucking woman's prison. It's fishy. It's very fishy.
But I kind of like the year that that Capcom had. It's pretty good. I hope for more, and you're probably going to have more of a better year for Capcom coming up in 2018 because of the rumored Devil May Cry 5. I'm kind of thinking positively. I think it's going to be good.
And I think people are going to buy the shit out of Mega Man 11 just to see what it is because it looks interesting. I mean, I'm intrigued. I honestly am. I can't lie about that. I am. I want to see what this is. I want to see if it really is the big middle finger, like "fuck you, mighty number 9."
Come on, you look at it.
You separated.
Look at. There's no way. There's no way because you look at that game and how well it animates and sort of it almost feels like it carries the spitting image of what originally they concepted Mighty Number 9 as. Like you can't help but look at it and be like, that shit looks like Mighty Number 9. Like it was supposed to be.
Look, it is Mighty Number 9. Capcom saw that. They saw the Kickstarter, and here's what they did. They kicked up their chairs. They went, okay, first let's get that one out the way. Did a big old line. Fucking
Yep.
took out
Who wants
out
to
this
make it?
wonderful thing. Yeah, who wants to make it? Took out a wonderful thing called the Swisher Sweet. Rolled up a pound of that shit, threw it to every employee and said, okay, look at Mighty Number 9. Okay, now after you're done laughing, let's make that and sell it. That's what's going on here. That's what's going on. I truly believe. Now imagine everybody, a bunch of Capcom employees smoking weed, watching fucking Mighty Number 9 giggling, and then they make Mega Man 11. And you got one animator high as fuck off some cocaine, possibly some LSD, just drawn Mega Man.